Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to a second video today on TA with MK. My name is MK. The first video I uploaded today was about XRP or Ripple, kind of discussing its weekly and daily chart, the level that I'm eyeing as far as a break and hold to enter XRP. If you haven't seen that video yet, the link will be in the description. Go ahead and check that out. I also was looking at POLKDADOT or DOT's chart, and it's looking pretty bullish as well. It's actually moving above a key level that I've been kind of watching, and I'm going to give you my criteria that I'm looking for as far as entering this coin as a potential, midterm hold. As long as Bitcoin continues to push higher and stocks continue to have a rally, DOT's looking like it could be one that's worth holding on to for a bit. And if that sounds interesting, please remember to like and subscribe, and let's go. It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. So we're over here on the DOT weekly chart, and I'm not going to talk too much about the indicators. I'm actually going to clean the chart up here in a second and just talk more about price levels that I'm eyeing and, support resistance wise. But I would want to start out with the indicators just to kind of bring up the weekly chart. We're going to double click so we can see this. If you look down here on the stochastic RSI, it's been below this purple area, which is considered the bullish area once the blue and orange cross back up into the purple. Anytime it's down here, it's considered to be oversold. However, it can remain down here for long periods of time, and typically the coin just continues to go down as long as it's down in that area. In fact, we can see if we pull up the date range tool here that from the time that it crossed down in here, both blue and orange, it's been down here for about almost 80 days. Basically, really close, just under 80 days. Now we have the blue crossing up, the orange has not yet, and until it does, that's not going to confirm that particular signal that the stochastic gives you. But you can also see the one that I have above it, which is the money flow index. It's severely, really oversold. It hasn't been this oversold since February, and in February it did follow and have a little rally back here where it went from $14 all the way back up to over $20, had about a 65% rally there. And then the MACD, which is the one I really wanted to talk about, it's had this negative momentum ever since the top, when the blow off top for Bitcoin this go around last year in early November, mid-November. This is where DOT at least had its blow off top anyway, and it's had negative momentum ever since then. Well, it's printing a couple of things that weekly charts take forever to play these things out, but this is what's known as a bullish divergence, because you can kind of see that. Hold on, why is my drawing tool not working? There we go. Okay, you can see that this has a low and a higher low, but price action during that same time has a low and a lower low. It just means that the bears in this case, or the negative momentum that DOT has had going ever since November of last year, is beginning to lose that momentum, and we just saw our first green bar here, which is definitely a good sign that the coin is likely finding its bottom or near finding its bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and double click just to hide those indicators. I'm actually going to go over here as well and click hide indicators. I just want the chart to be as clean as possible as we kind of zoom in and talk about these levels. Now first, just on the weekly before I switch over to the daily, just wanted to point out that back here, this is the key level that when DOT first found resistance after its existence, after it came into existence, I guess, in August of 2020, or at least that's when it was listed on this exchange, which is Binance. It found major resistance at just under the $6 area. Then it retraced all the way back around, basically formed this little cup and handle. It broke to the upside, finally above the $6 resistance. And that dates clear back to 2020. And most recently, when we found our bottom, when Bitcoin went down to 17,000 or just over 17,000, this is where DOT revisited that area that previously was resistance that it broke through clear back in 2020. And now it's using that level as support. Now, clearly, that would have been the best area to buy DOT. It's rallied quite a bit since then. DOT's actually from that low to where it's at now. I think that was about 35% if I would have held onto the tool right there. So it's up around 35%, which is clearly, quite a rally it's had already. However, we're going to zoom into the daily here in a second, but I also want to just point out that even at this point, from its all-time high at about $55, just right around 55, it's still down, even as we speak, 85%, similar to XRP that I spoke about in the last video. And to me, anytime you're between 80 and 95% down on these major coins that I believe will come back and surpass most likely their previous all-time highs, that's still considered a good buy. If you buy now and then you buy in 3 months and it happens to go back down to 650 or 7, you know, you're just DCAing into levels that you would think, you know, or hope at least, as long as crypto doesn't go away, that DOT should come back eventually, and you know, you have nothing but huge upside gains, just back to its all-time high. You know, you're looking at over 500% gain potential. So just something to keep in mind. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to the daily chart now. 1 day. And I just want to kind of focus on this level that we're currently pushing through, which is around 825. Now, if we go back to price action back here first, just to kind of zoom in and show you what price action's done at this level in the past. This is daily candles, and you can see that this blue mark, the blue horizontal that I have, price action broke above it, which was around 830, 825 to 830. You know, then it used it as support, which was considered the break and the retest. You know, then it held another candle above that, and then it went on a little rally of around, let's see, bottom to top, you know, about 30%, which is a pretty darn good little rally. You know, and then of course it fell over, but then it used that area as support yet again. So it's a very significant area. It was able to close these 3 candles straight, or 2 candles in a row above it, and then this candle took off, and of course, you know, DOT went to the moon. Now we're not at that point in the cycle where I expect anything like that to happen. However, we are flirting again with that same area of about 825 to 830. And I posted in my Telegram group a DOT chart, I believe it was yesterday or last night, kind of saying that this was my criteria to enter the coin, and this is what I want to discuss with you in this video. You also kind of have this little potential, it's not super clean, but you kind of have a little inverse head and shoulders pattern going on, right? Left shoulder, you know, head, right shoulder. So you have a couple different things that make the chart look bullish besides just this price level. But what I'm looking for right now is if we can get this daily candle, which closes in an hour, just over an hour, if this daily candle can close above this level, that would be step 1 for me as far as entering the coin. Step 2 would be that tomorrow's coin at some point retests and then closes its body, and the body is the key part, you know, the body of the candle. I need the body of the candle to close above today, not just a wick like back here. You can see each time that wicks have went up there, it's led to reversals. We want to see a body close, that's step 1. Then we want to see tomorrow's candle, I don't care how much it retraces, even if it comes all the way back at some point to $7.80 or even lower, we want the body of the candle again tomorrow to close above. So that's 2 straight days of bodies closing, and preferably the second day, which would be tomorrow, we'd want the candle to close. We would want the sorry, what am I trying to say? Preferably we'd want it to retest. That's what I was trying to say. I don't want to just see it push higher and then suddenly decide to enter. You do want to enter on a retest, or at least that's my strategy, is to enter on a retest. That's usually where your strongest group of buyers are waiting. So I want to see that push above, close 1 candle. I want to see a second candle close, and then at that point, we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. We'll zoom in. I will leave a link in the description to my Telegram group, because this is where I will post, you know, kind of when I'm entering, what my exact targets are. Just off the top of my head, just, you know, in this video, I would say that my targets, if this criteria is met, first target would be up here at this next blue line, which would be about $9.35. Of course, I'd probably take some profits just below these candles here. So back down here below, just under $9. That'd be my first target. Next target would be this area up around $10. Take profit just below as well, just to kind of ensure. So we'll keep an eye on it, but DOT is looking bullish, or at least it's showing signs. We've got an hour till the daily candle closes, and I'll probably send a little update on Twitter if that step 1 criteria is met. And the final thing I wanted to go over, or just quickly or briefly mention as far as the DOT chart goes, is it doesn't have any major overhead trend lines that will act as resistance as far as I can see. Clearly you had this one dating back to its previous all-time high, 1 touch, 2 touches, 3, almost 4 right here, you know, 5, and then a little wick above here, 6, and then finally it broke out of that. Now, a lot of times when it breaks out of those trend lines, doesn't mean it's going to go straight up. A lot of times that just means it start to range sideways, which is clearly what it's been doing in this little range between about $6 and, you know, $8, which is above right now. And then if you zoom in even a little bit further, you have this most recent trend line, which is similar to what XRP's chart looked like, where it had, you know, resistance here once, twice, you know, 3 times, 4 times, and it finally broke out and retested. So that's also a bullish or positive sign, as there really isn't any major trend lines currently overhead, just regular, you know, levels of support and resistance. And that should about wrap it up for this one. Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have any altcoins that you'd like me to take a look at, you know, as far as the daily or weekly charts, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section, and we'll get a video out in the coming days about your coin. Otherwise, if you guys are liking the content, as always, please remember to like and subscribe. We'll catch you tomorrow. It's